Is that thing on? This video on the 5 reasons for why I love living in South Korea. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. I will say the same thing at the end of the video, so you can do it now and spare yourself going all the way to the end of the video so you can subscribe. Just do it now. Here goes the intro. Love. 5 reasons for love. Love. 5 reasons for love. Here are the 5 reasons for why I think living in South Korea is friggin' fantastic. By the way, I can't use the song from the last introduction. But so many people complained on its sound volume, not because of that, but because it got copy strike. The last video on the 5 things that I don't like about living in South Korea got some feedback. Some of it was useful. And many of you wanted to know what were some things that I liked about South Korea. And as promised, here's the video. Here are the 5 things that I like about living in South Korea. And again, they're not in any particular order. The first reason why I think living in South Korea is pretty nice is one that I heard from many people who have been living in South Korea, and that is the absence of drugs and drug-related crime. And I guess any other criminal activities related to gangs. There was always this fear of this masculine overbearingness that was happening in Canada. There was a lot of competition, and anytime you'd go out, there was always a chance of getting into a fight. And that really bothered me. That's something that I would not want my kids to go through because it was really friggin' exhausting. In Korea, there is none of that. Once again, because of how society is structured here. The first thing that you cannot do in a confrontation, well, you don't get into confrontations, but if people do get into confrontations, there is no physical contact for the most part. Again, this is not 100% foolproof, but for the most part, people don't start swinging punches when there are confrontations. Some people may push others, somebody may get slapped, but for the most part, there aren't as many violent outbreaks as there are back home. There is no gun control in South Korea because there are no guns. There are no problems with drugs because there are no drugs. There are very few gang-related issues. I don't know of any because there essentially are no gangs. And if there are, then they're well underground, they're well in hiding. And I guess are occasionally hired by the local governments to take care of the messes that they themselves create. And so it's a kind of a Yakuza, very, synergetic relationship. And it all works out, and it doesn't really spill into the broader society. Living here is pretty safe. The second reason for why I think living in Korea is pretty great, it's delivery everything. I've been here for so long that I think that delivering McDonald's is normal by now. I don't even remember whether Canada delivers McDonald's or not. I think they did. I have no idea. It's been so long. Other than that, literally everything is delivered. If you purchase enough stuff at a store, like if you go to your local grocery store and you buy, let's say, $100 worth of stuff, they will package it up if you ask them to, and they will deliver it to your door within the next couple of hours or less than an hour. My wife goes to the store occasionally by herself and she buys a bunch of stuff and it's just too much for her to carry. So she will ask the people to package it up and they will ship it over within the hour in a box. Some dude will drop it off in front of our door and there it is. Almost every single imaginable food that is available for sale here in restaurants can be delivered. Tied up with the whole delivery system is the postal service, which ships things within a day. Just yesterday, I had a package shipped from the capital city, which is about 5-hour drive or 5 to 6 hour drive up north, and it arrived here before noon in Ulsan. Seoul to Ulsan in less than 24 hours. The third reason for why I like living in South Korea is the Medicare. I always saw the Korean Medicare as a very happy medium ground between the apparently acclaimed free healthcare in Canada and the crazily overpriced healthcare in the United States. The Canadian healthcare system is free. Technically, people pay thousands of dollars in taxes. I remember we're looking about, 25 to 40% in taxes for an average Canadian household. Some part of that money goes towards the healthcare system. So it's not free. You're still paying for it. And then you get to wait 3 to 4 or 6 hours in the emergency room of a hospital if something happens to you. Now, before you start getting randy on me and start pointing out all the things that I omit by saying that, just know that in Korea, if I chip a nail, I go to the emergency and it gets bandaged within the next few minutes. Now, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. It's said that a lot of people take advantage of that it's too easily come by, that it's too easy to just hop into a regular pharmacy or a regular hospital and get things done. And people take advantage of that by going with a sneeze and a runny nose. But the fact remains that healthcare here in Korea is a lot more accessible than it is in Canada. And it's definitely a lot more accessible than it is back in the United States, where you have to spend your grandfather's fortune in order to get anything done. Unless, of course, you have insurance. The number 4 reason for why I personally think living in South Korea is pretty great, it's the fried chicken. You gotta love yourself some fried chicken. In Korea, you've got like fried chicken houses on every single corner. I call them the equivalent of Starbucks here. This is like the imported thing. USA has its Starbucks in Seattle and it's on every single corner. Well, Korea has its chicken houses. There's so many franchises, so many chicken franchises, it's mind-blowing. As a side note, I was told that the reason why there are so many chicken houses here in South Korea is because it's like the dummy restaurant paradise. If you don't know how to cook, but you want to run a business, and you have no idea what business to start, the best place to go is a fried chicken place. The reason why fried chicken took off so well in Korea is, I think, and you may disagree, because Korea is a drinking culture. People like to socialize. And fried chicken places provide the aspect of socializing and a quick recipe for hunger. Maybe the 4th point is not that important. I should probably take it off. Or maybe I should add another one of more substance. Fuck it. The number 5 reason for why I like living in South Korea is the fact that even to this day, you can still build a very good business teaching English in this country. It's almost surprising that not a lot more Westerners are running their own hagwon businesses in this country. As a matter of fact, the pool has kind of dried out over the past couple of years. It seems that the economy has hit a slump and a lot of people packed up their shit and left. And please don't misunderstand, it's not easy running a business. It's not easy running a hagwon. But think about it. With a little bit of ingenuity, a sprinkle of ideas, and a dash of savvy thinking, you could set yourself up with a nice little English school and run a business. Of course, it's not as easy as ABC. Or is it? It's not as easy as walking into a classroom and just blabbing on about shit that nobody cares in a classroom, right? Teaching English is an art, just like any other teaching. Running a successful business is an art. Running a successful ESL business is an art. It takes a lot of work and dedication. And most of all, it takes a program that flies off the shelves and sells itself. You didn't know it was going to come to this. Well, that's the sales pitch. If you are out there in the radio land and you're interested in starting your own franchise of a language school in South Korea, give me a buzz. I will tell you what I can about the Shane Language School, and if you're interested, get your very own language school built in South Korea. That's it. That's it for the 5 reasons for why I think living in South Korea is great. And this is not an exhaustive list. I could go on and about the great things in South Korea. There's plenty of them. But I've limited it to these 5. And Korea is great. It's fantastic. The food is phenomenal. People are pretty friendly. You occasionally meet assholes, but you meet assholes everywhere. The weather is good with the exception of the crappy air. You get beautiful cherry blossoms and flowers of all colors and colors. The government takes care of its people for the most part, I think, and life overall is pretty easy and stressless in South Korea. Unless you've got no money and Corona's got you by the balls, of course, then that's kinda crabby. So please, do not come here bitching and moaning about these 5 reasons being not as what you would expect them to be. Or maybe go ahead and do. Better yet, why don't you write 5 of your own reasons in the comment section below. I have no time for making any more videos. I'm running a business and I'm here from like 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. Look at the time. Can you see that? It's 11 p.m. I may be losing my mind. I'm not sure. Anyway, if this video was helpful in any way, if you liked it or disliked it, agreed or disagreed, whatever you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like it. Like it, goddammit, and hit the subscribe button and like it. And then come back for more.